Today's video, In the Good Light, is written by Andrea Gibson, who died yesterday. Andrea was one of my very favorite poets of recent time, and they wrote like so many like beautiful poems about life, about struggling, about suffering, but still holding on to hope because they were fighting against cancer for a long time. And like, yeah, so like, I think like how they connected to a lot of people was very, very beautiful. And I really wish that wherever they are, like, they stay happy and stay in the good light. So again, like you can like watch, there is a documentary about their life, Come See Me in the Good Light. So again, like, so I wanted to start with their memory. So then it like made me think that what my favorite artists thought about life, about death, about everything. So first I wanted to start with Van Gogh. Van Gogh is the most famous like painter of all time probably, and he is very known like for his sunflowers, for his expressions, for his Starry Night. But very few people like actually see like the other part of him. Like he was a very intense person, of course, and these paintings are my favorites because like he like when he had those nervous breakdowns and then he was admitted in an asylum, and then there like he didn't have like any view or any like escape, so all he could do is just get some flowers and then just look at them, or like maybe looking out of the window to the garden and look at the flowers and the very limited amount of like the colors and everything he could get. He tried to make these beautiful paintings. And then if like he was a very like he really loved Japanese like printmaking and the like flower vase, like those stuff. But I always wondered like why are like the roses are white, or like the irises and everything. But if you look closely to these flowers, like some are like wilted, but some are like very vivid. And then the colors, like the strokes are so tiny strokes, like you can see them like up close. And like he was writing to his brother at that time that, dear Theo, I'm feeling very good about life, that I would be better again and I'll be normal again and I will like paint everything I wanna paint. And he wanted to paint like all his dreams and like everything he felt and everything he saw. And like he had like that's why the name of his like the collection of his letters is the lust for life. So he had a lust for life, like he loved life so much. But that was the intensity of Van Gogh probably that took his life, right? So I don't know about that, but whenever I look at these colors, like these green, like this, like very, I forgot the name of this, like the green, the blue, like, you know, there are like layers of colors and the white and everything. It just gives so much hope that Van Gogh was feeling at that time, that like he will be like better again, and like he will do everything he wanted to do. And then yeah, so I think like that's why I wanted to start with Van Gogh, because like these paintings, like the flower paintings, like they are not intense as sun, like the Starry Night or his like other sunflowers and everything, but they give me so much hope that I cannot explain. So yeah, I wanted to start with Van Gogh. And then the next one is Frida Kahlo. So everybody knows about Frida Kahlo's struggles, right? So she had a bad accident, like she had polio, and then like she had bad accident, like, and then like she broke her hip and she could never really get back, and then her personal life was also not very happy. So she struggled her whole life about like who she is, who, like, she always would tell that I don't paint like dreams or nightmares, I just paint my realities. And her realities are just so different. Suppose like in this painting, like the Tree of Hope, you can see that Frida Kahlo is like showing half in half. She like is still on her bed, like you can see the like scar. So this painting was done like after she had a surgery of her hip from US, and then she went home, and then like she still had that corset, like she had to wear a corset after that. And then you can see that the like even the sun is like this, and then the land is barren, and like she told that like these are the scars of her back. And then on the other side it's the moon. She is sitting there with all her grace, like her dress, and she is holding that corset, and then like that corset is now free, and then like she's holding this flag, and then she's just sitting there with like in her graceful way. So she always would say that I'm my own muse, and I love that word so much, because like she would always say that I know myself the most. I don't know anybody else as much as I know myself. So I would paint myself. That she she went through so much, that like I genuinely like love how much she kept that hope inside herself, that she has to like fight back every single like the surgeries, the traumas, like everything. So I really loved that. So yeah, the next one I think is Modigliani. So in one side, when Frida Kahlo is fighting for her life, Modigliani was exactly the opposite. So Amedeo Modigliani again is one of my very favorite painters, because she like he only lived for like maybe 35 years or something, and he had tuberculosis, and then he had meningitis who take his life, but he suffered from like various different things, and he had a very like unrestricted lifestyle. So because he had tuberculosis and he didn't care much. But Modigliani used always say that he could never draw, like he could never paint people's eyes. You can see like this long neck and this like slender structure, and these eyes, like those are Modigliani's features. Like he would draw like everything like this, and he's very like known for his portraits. So you can tell like this woman, like you cannot even see her eyes, right? Like he would always say that like I don't know your soul. So if I don't know your soul, how could I draw your eyes? Because he believed that eyes are the passage to soul. And then this one, I felt like this one has these eyes a little more open. It never explained like if this is the woman, but like he like painted his wife like so many times, and like he was extremely devoted to Modigliani. And then I don't know if this portrait is of her, but I love this portrait so much because of like how I love these like necks, like the neckline. And like at that time, like women's dresses were also changing. You can see like on the left and then on the right, like how she is sitting, how she's looking at you, and like the contrast of the colors, the dress, the like every I love everything about this portrait. Like this portrait was on my fridge for a long time. So more than that, like I could say that Modigliani was like a very like desperate person. Like he wouldn't care. And then like when he died, his wife actually committed suicide. Like they had a daughter who was probably like 2 or 3 years old at that time, like maybe two. But like she actually jumped off the balcony or the roof, and then she was actually 8 months pregnant at that time. So I don't know what made her think that like she would like so th I think there is a play as well that like model about like Modigliani's wife that like she couldn't bear that pain, like she couldn't bear the life without him. So like she wouldn't care that if like she's pregnant or like she has to like take care. So what I was saying like it's exactly the opposite of what Frida Kahlo was thinking, right? That like I have to go through every single thing, and now here is Modigliani who's like I just don't care, right? So I don't know what is right and what is wrong, but I think like I don't know about life, but like I really get that idea that like if I don't know your soul, I cannot paint your eyes. So yeah, and then like he had a very short life, but he had a very distinct style, like which is still there. So I think I kept Georgia O'Keeffe at the end because Georgia O'Keeffe's like life, her ideas and everything. Like I love her paintings a lot. Her paintings are extremely simple. Extremely simple. Like there is like no huge back like things going on and everything. And she had a very long life and a very long career. So she had a lot of paintings and lot of styles, everything as well. And like with her age, like her whole like idea changed a lot. Like she kept changing. Like even she told like about her own photographs that like I don't think I'm that woman anymore. Like so yeah, so about Georgia O'Keeffe, like when she said that nobody sees a flower really, it is so small, she was mainly talking about women. Like she would just draw like very big size flowers. You can see it's a very zoomed in flower, right? And then at that time, if somebody asked her like, hey, why do you always like draw flowers? And she would say, because it's simple they don't move, so it's just easy for me to like paint them. But later people realized that she's actually drawing, like she's painting female bodies, she's painting female organs and like female understanding. So when she said like nobody sees a flower really, she was saying that like nobody sees a woman, and how a woman sees a woman is a very different like seeing. Like how they explore a woman's like life is very different from how male artists look at it, right? So she would like draw the flowers, and she would always say that if I could draw them big enough, one day people will see. So like she was a very like subtle person, but she was a very like deep, like her paintings like had a very deep understanding. So the flower series was like maybe like her first made like that time. And then she, as I was saying, that she had a very long life. Like this is one thing that I absolutely love, like this painting. So I saw these paintings, like all of today's pictures are from my postcards, you can see. So like this is a skull. It's a desert. You can see it's a desert. Like this is like the stones of a desert. And then this is a skull of a like cow. And like she had this skull for a long time. She actually got this skull from a desert. And then like she put these flowers in that skull, like of the cow's head. And these flowers are from like like the in Mexican culture, like there are these like the calico flowers, like calico roses, like those like paper flowers that they put in the funerals and everything. But they're still flowers and they're live. So like how she mixed the death, the nature, the life, and like put the death and the life together, like in this painting. This is absolutely like mesmerizing to me. So, like, she always like would, as she was saying, like, I was saying, I think the other day that like the how women see life, death together, like it's very different understanding, like it's so interconnected in their like mind. I cannot explain it. I understand it, but I cannot explain it. But like the life, death, pain, suffering, happiness, everything are just intertwined, and you really just need to weave between that, I guess. So again, like this was one of her very late paintings. It's a huge painting. It's a 24 feet like long and then 8 feet tall. So she actually had like these sky above clouds like series when she was I think like 70. So she would like travel from New York to Santa Fe, and like I think so she was working in New Mexico, and then like at some point like she moved there, and then like in on her journeys through the airplane, like she would look outside and then like look at the clouds, and then she would look at the colors. And as I was saying, like she's very simple. So like the whole canvas, you can see just these like these are clouds. Like you can see and the color of the horizon, and that's it. But like she was almost blind when she actually made this painting. And then like she needed help from other people, and then but she actually finished all of them, like The Sky Above Clouds. And that was like she wanted to finish that. I think like she finished this one when she was 77. But I like this is a long line, but I loved this line so much that I have been absolutely terrified every moment of my life. Like if you look at Georgia O'Keeffe's life, like she had a very like a lot of different stuff happened in her life. She took a lot of like decisions that I think even she didn't like or she didn't realize, but like she did it anyway. She worked, she loved, she moved away, she did a lot of stuff, but in a very subtle way. Like, so I loved again this line that like I've never let it keep me from doing a single thing I wanted to do. So I wanted to like end with this, that I think that's what matters. Like I really like personally I really don't like the way of like Modigliani maybe like looks at life that hey, I'm gonna die anyway, so like I will not fight against it. But maybe I like this way better, that whatever time I have, like even if it's like 1 day or 1,000 days, that like, and even if I'm super terrified, I'll still keep doing what I want to do at that moment if I'm not harming anybody. So I think that's it. Like, yeah, I think it was very serious today, but I think sometimes it's really necessary to look back, to look closely, to look forward, to look around, and how Georgia O'Keeffe said, like you really need to see. Like she would always say that it takes time. So like it takes time to see, it takes time to understand, and then it takes time to I guess like to make friends and like to stay with life, to love life, I guess. So yeah, that's it I guess. Okay, bye.